Hi everyone, it's Halloween and we've got ourselves a display over here. So what does it do? It looks interesting. It's got a battery compartment there. So it's probably going to do something fancy if we turn it on. No, all it does is just light up some string lights in the side. So this is a bit of a disappointment. It'll help if it had some motion sensor where, you pass in front of it, it'll say something, something like the Zoltar. However, it's very, well, that's all there is to it. So what I'm going to try and do is just make it a little bit more interesting. Nothing fancy, just maybe a crystal ball that turns colors, just, looks as if it's going to, there is some cosmic stuff happening inside of it. So I was trying to figure out what to put over here. We can put a crystal ball. And what I got is an LED light. And what I did is I'm thinking we can put this and embed it into this circle over here. So cut out a hole over here and then glue this thing so it becomes her crystal ball. Alright, so what I did is I got this. This is a plastic cover. So this is not glass. It's not going to shatter on my hands. I of course had to tap it to make sure it's not glass. If it was glass, it would not be pleasant at all. But most of these LED lights don't use glass at all. Alright, so I just got a screwdriver in there very carefully because screwdrivers can slip and cut you very easily. Ask me how I know. Anyway, so I managed to take this apart and it will fit in there. So what will we do to provide the swirling lights inside? Well, what I got is an extension cord, and we have this fancy thing. So what this is it's a night light, and it has a light sensor over here. And the interesting thing about this night light is plug it in, and when the lights go off, so that there's no light going to the sensor. And if it's part of the plug, which I've just turned on right now, you notice it starts producing colors and it switches between the colors themselves. So this is going to be our crystal ball. Come to think of it, maybe there's no need to use the bulb. Maybe you can just stick this directly inside. However, it's a lot bigger than the it might work. Let's see. Okay, the problem is the mushroom shape is too big. It's also kind of molded to organic shape, so it won't set flat, which is not the end of the world. But this bulb probably will work better, so we're going to use this. Alright, so to take this apart, I see that these sections can come apart, so I'm just going to get my screwdriver in there. Okay, came off very easily. It looks like it's not glued, it's just lashed together. No signs of any glue. Alright, we have our LED over here which provides a light. So that makes things a lot simpler for us because instead of cutting a huge hole in here, all we have to do is just poke a tiny hole and put this light in there. So let's see if we can do that. So there are ways we can do that, and I think the simplest way for me is just to drill a hole. So I'm going to find a drill bit that's the same size as this and just drill through. I've got a whole bunch of drill bits somewhere in here, so we're going to try and find something suitable. Okay, let's see what we have here. we're going to try and find the center of this circle. Let's see if inches will give us an easier way to work this. So that's 2.5, so that's 1.25. So there. Doesn't have to be super accurate, as long as we're roughly in the center position. So let's drill for oil. That's really slow. Okay. We need a sharper point, so we're going to start off with a 3/8 drill bit that's got a sharp point to it. I can see that is much better. Back to our half. I have to be careful because it's going to go through my floor. So that's the back. We kind of expected that. It's not looking pretty. So we plug our light in there. You know what, we're going to go with the 9/16 because we need this to come out a little bit further. So where is our 9/16? So let's get that. So the 9/16 is going to allow us to insert our light a little bit further in. We're going to drill from the back so you can get rid of all this junk. So much better. Is it going to go in? That's looking a lot more promising. Alright. Probably a lot of formaldehyde in that. So do we have our bulb cover? So let's plug it in, see what happens, see how it performs. All I need is a shorter plug. There, and we got light. So we cover. Oh, that's looking beautiful. Wow. So what we're going to do, we're going to glue everything inside. I'm probably going to trim this so it's more flush. Alright, let's go to trimming. Alright, it's looking great. So what we're going to do, I think I'm going to take the glue gun and we're going to permanently glue this in here. We're going to glue the bulb as well so that we have a permanent fixture. But then one thing I want to do, since this is sticking out the back, we also want to provide the back with a way to access the electrical plug over here. So we're just going to cut a big square out of the back so that we can run our electrical wires. Alright, what I'm doing is I'm looking at where the plug goes so I can know where to cut. So, got a good idea. So I'm marking the position of where the hole is, and if I cross these two lines, it should be over there. So I have an idea of where we need to cut the back. We're not going to see this back, so it doesn't matter how untidy it is. So I kind of need to go. I'm looking at the plug from the inside, so I'll probably cut up here. I'm going to need to go all the way down here in order to clear everything. Alright, so with that done, we're going to draw the lines. That's the center, so that's the real center. Okay. Doesn't need to be accurate. I'm just marking close to where we need to open up the back. Alright. So all this work should be done in a proper workshop, not on your nice area. And you should definitely be cutting following safety guidelines. So I'm going to go ahead get my hands out of the way. You should be wearing a mask, and you shouldn't have to ask where you can get a mask from. I'm making sure my hands are completely out of the way. Alrighty, this dust is bad. You should be wearing a mask, and you should be making sure it doesn't get in your area. So don't do as I do, just do as I say. I have a bad habit of using my living space as a workshop, so I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. So where were we? So we got a hole over here, and we can plug in our plug, and it sticks out the front. So we're almost good to go. So what else do we have to do? We need to glue it in place. So this is how we're going to do it. This is a hot glue gun. I normally prefer epoxy glue, but for something that doesn't need a lot of strength, a hot glue gun is going to be more than adequate. We need something to prevent the glue from dripping all over the floor, and get rid of some of this trash from the side of the hole. And while we're waiting for the glue gun to warm up, what we should do is we need to trim off the extra edge from this light bulb housing. And for that I'm going to use this handsaw. So let's see how well it works. It's wandering a little bit. So I'm going to go around like this to make sure we don't cut across where we don't need to. Get a grip. How are we doing on the hot glue gun front? Not quite there yet. Still warming up. So that's looking good. We can use a hot glue gun on this, so we're just going to scratch the surface to give a keying surface for the glue to hold on to. And we should probably do the same to this. Have we got hot glue yet? It's definitely hot, but it's not flowing yet. So we're going to give that a little bit of time. You know, we should also consider, should we want to turn this down like this? That might be better, but you can see the problem. Sideways, we're going to need to put the plug in from the side, from the top. It's not ideal, so the wire is just going to come up and then down again. But since that is all the space that we have, that's the most convenient. That's what we're going to do. Alrighty. Just going to dump some hot glue around this. I am not being shy with the glue. I think that should do a great job of holding the socket in place. I'm going to let it dry for a minute and then I'm going to add some more just to be sure. Alright, what's happening on the other side? This is sticking out a bit, so I don't want to lie it on its back and have that pop out. So I'm going to need something to raise the box slightly, and we have some coasters. Alright. There. No, not there. Okay. Alright, let's go for it. Glue on the inside of the dome. Okay, and while it's still hot, we're just going to lay it on right where it should be. That looks good. Alright, since I happen to have this around, I'm going to make doubly sure that this light over here is very secure. So what I'm going to do is, since I've done a lot of bathroom jobs, I'm going to use this fiberglass mesh over here. Around the light. Just got several strips to make sure it's properly anchored. The piece wrapped around. Okay, we need a new glue stick. Our old one is out, so let's see if we can smother this with the glue. Okay, everything looks set. I think we're good to go. We'll take it to the staging location and start the show. Hi everyone, it's Halloween. So what can the fortune teller tell us about the future? She says that you're going to give me a like and you're going to subscribe. And she can read my mind, and she says that she knows that I'm very thankful for you guys watching. So I really appreciate it. What's this flashing light you see over here? Let's find out. Recognize this guy?
Hear your fortune from Zoltar. The smallest good deed is better than the grandest intention. Take it from me, the great Zoltar.
Well, you get the message. Alright, it's been a joy going through this project with you. So happy Halloween. Alright, we'll catch you next time.